Welcome. Episode 241. We are still on the hunt for awesome, latest, greatest awesome sauce, and we haven't stopped. 241 episodes in. Guest tonight, Nickolas Sullivan, and you're going to see he's off the charts for sure by his story. He's just kind of flying through the level charts. Something amazing. From the Mayrocky Studios in Mobile, Alabama, one of my favorite cities on the planet. And salon owner Brandy Souther is the creator of that. And then my bestie Dana Deason is the coach. Actually, Dana blew in my ear and signed me on Nickolas, and the rest is history. I think you're going to enjoy what he brings to the table. Like always, here's his track record. He had like halfway through his first year in 18, 40, jumped to 52, probably trending to do 75 this year, and he says he's gonna crack the infamous six-figure W2 area in 2021, and you know what? I believe him. He's a level 4 now, will be a 5 by February. So, think about that, you guys. He starts as an associate inside of a 2-year window, and he's cruising big time. 22 years old, so on the front end of 20-something. Look at his average ticket. $125. Woman's haircut price is $49. You do the arithmetic there. Randy Kunkel will do it for you. It's about 2.5. His average ticket's about 2.5 times his base service. So he has got his clients involved in his work. Doing about 10 or so referrals a month, trending. So triple digit referral. I'm going to call him the Rainmaker. Rebooking at just this side of 75%, and his retail is running at about 22%. So he's like blowing it up on all the cylinders. He's going to tell you a story, so I don't like to take wind out of that, but this is the timeline. He graduates high school in 18, 2019 level 1 and 2, 2020 3, 4. Like I said, if you throw a rock, you'll hit level 5 from where he's at now. And 2020 trending about 70, and he'll, like I said, he's going to do the assault in 2021. So if you don't follow him on Instagram, make sure you do that. His handle is Hair by Nickolas. We'll take you there tonight. I pulled his page up on my new iPhone 12 Super Max. Thank you very much. And he's got a nice little village following him, just under 1,500 people. The overwhelming majority of his referrals come from what he's doing on social. It's some extraordinary stuff. So, as I always do, he's in my green room. I'm going to go get him. Going to get him talking about his life a little bit, and then maybe share some of the secret sauce to see what you guys can, what you think of him. So, I'm going to go there now. Keep your fingers crossed that the Wi-Fi gods are being nice to us, which they are. Unmute them. Please make them feel very welcome. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I know you had a long day. What did we get? Did 12 hours today behind the chair, and you got another 12 to go tomorrow?
I did 6 today, and I have 2 12s waiting for me this week.
Oh my God. So it's what is it? Make hay when while it's raining or whatever. So you're in the groove this week.
Absolutely.
Well, first of all, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
I've been looking forward to our conversation, and as we always do, we always like to start with the story, because the story gives us an appreciation of what's possible, and I just love your story. So, who are you, and how did you get to the place that you're at now? What was your life like before you hit Boom Goes the Dynamite?
So I was in school, and I was in high school, and I knew that I wanted to do hair. I just didn't really I didn't really know that you could be really successful at it. I didn't really know that you could make a lot of money at something like just doing hair, which is what I thought back then. And then I saw my salon owner, Brandy. She had started doing hair, and she was doing so good. And I was like, wow, like she's doing awesome. You know, she's doing great. She's making money, and she's doing awesome. And that was actually before she found Summit. So we thought she was making money, and you could just put the puzzle pieces together. Yeah. So I saw how good she was doing, and then I came on, and she needed, at the time, she needed somebody to kind of help her out because she was getting so busy. And at that moment, she had asked me if I wanted to do an apprenticeship instead of going to hair school. And I was like, well, yeah, absolutely. And at that time, I was still in high school. So I was a junior in high school when she asked me that. I was a junior in high school. So
were you doing apprenticeship while you were going through high school too?
Yes, I actually did an apprenticeship. I did part of my apprenticeship my entire senior year. I was also working another job at the time. So I was working with Brandy, doing my apprenticeship, going to high school, and working another job at the time. So
when you graduated from high school, had you tested out to be a hairdresser yet, or were you still apprenticing?
So I actually just finished my apprenticeship completely this year.
Okay. So it was like a jump start in high school, yeah, and then
right.
as you get into the game, whatever your idea was is how lucrative this could be as a livelihood. You're watching her, how busy she is and the money she's making, and that kind of like started turning on the light bulbs. Like, whoa, that this could be way more than a fun thing to do. Like I could have a great lifestyle, standard of living livelihood from this.
Absolutely. And it's cool because so many people who don't realize what this business does for people, they just say, oh yeah, she does hair. Or, oh yeah, she's a hairdresser. No, she's so much more than that. And we are so much more than that. And so seeing her doing that is what made me really like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. I can do this.
Yeah, it's almost as if until you see it, you don't see it. And then when you do, you go, like, this has got to be one of the best kept secrets in the world, is that this is way, 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 way more than just stuff.
Absolutely.
Right?
Because everybody would say, I'm about to start doing hair like Brandy does. Everybody in our family, they would always say, well, I'm about to start working at the salon, And so I kept seeing that, and I kept seeing that, and I kept seeing that. I was like, okay, well, I can do it too. Because I love hair. I have such a passion for it. So, but I also love money.
Like, when did you think that you would be drawn into hair? Like, did you get that movement in, like, middle school, elementary, high school? Like, when did the bug hit you?
I was really young. So I would say that I would probably say I was in middle school. I always used to like braid my friend's hair in class and do stuff to it and just brush it. And I used to go in there and play with my mom's hair when she would get ready, like throughout my whole entire life. But until I saw how good Brandy was doing, I didn't think that I could do it.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah. Well, there was this point, like you said something like there was, you saw something, and then all of a sudden you guys go to Summit, and whatever it was you thought you saw before Summit, it was like it blew the sides off of your brain boxes. Is that like the real big thing that kind of fueled your fire? Because you just can't show up and go, I think I'll go from level 1 to level 5 in a 24-month window. Something motivates you. What was that thing that made the difference from you that went, because you're flying through the charts.
So when we first started, we started Summit, and Dana Deason, actually, by the way, is a godsend. She is amazing. But at the beginning, I didn't necessarily think she was amazing. I was kind of intimidated.
Yeah.
And I was scared. And she started talking to me, and she knows this. Our first meeting didn't go very well. It didn't really go very well. I was very defensive, and I felt like I was being trapped. I just felt scared at seeing all of this, because we were going to be a booth rent salon at the beginning.
So she had to, you were kind of pivoting from, you were kind of predisposed to being an independent, and all of a sudden she's having a conversation where you're being part of a collective community.
Right.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's what was scary. She was, and I was scared, and we were just like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, you're intimidating me. I don't really know if I like this. And so I sat down with Brandy, and then Dana came back for our second meeting, and everything changed, because I really understood it a little bit more at that time. And Dana would show me on paper the potential that everyone has.
Yeah.
She showed me the numbers that you can achieve if you follow this system. And when I saw that on paper, and I saw that, oh, you can do this if you do this, I was like, okay,
so that's,
give me my Summit book.
I mean, as I'm listening, and I've heard that before, there's something, and it's Summit, I think they call it the income potential chart, where they actually kind of like do a little math, and that you get here, you go here, and you start seeing your annual pay go up, and that's all of a sudden you go, whoa, and that was like your light bulb moment, saying, okay, if this is true,
right,
I'm going to go for this, because it's going to take me to places that I've not been before.
Absolutely.
Oh my God! And now you're there. I mean, that's inside of 2 years, and like it looked like, to me, it looks like you're going to assault a 6-figure livelihood, perhaps in 2021, and you're only 22 years old.
Right.
Like, what's that feel like? I mean, I got to ask you that question. It's like, okay, so I'm assuming you've never made that kind of money before. What's it like to be you now from how you were just like even a year or 2 years ago?
It definitely changes you as a person. I think the biggest thing for me is like being able to look at, well, I just bought a new house. I bought my first home, actually.
Wow. So you're 22 and you bought your first home.
Right. I just bought it about 3 weeks ago.
That's big.
Wow. That was the big moment for me. I think when I saw I was able to purchase a home, I was like, I think the coolest thing is I'm able to wake up every morning and go into the salon and work and do what I love, because I love doing hair. If anybody knows me, they know that I was meant to do this. But it's like every morning when you wake up and you're able to look in the mirror and you're saying, like, I did this. Right. I made this money. Yeah. I bought this house. Like, it's motivating to look at yourself and just be like, good job.
So when did you kind of break out of your family of origin? So because you're only 22, so did you go from like your family of origin to a home, or did you move out of your house and rent for a little while and then buy? Like, where's your fam fit into this?
So my family's very supportive. I actually lived with my mom during high school, obviously, and during the first year of my apprenticeship. And then as soon as I started as a level 1, an exact year after that, I moved out on my own.
Right.
I rented a home. Yeah. And then exactly like year after I rented, I bought.
Wow. And do you have brothers and sisters? You only
Yeah, I have brothers. I have a brother on my mom's side of the family. I have siblings on my dad's side of the family. I have aunts and uncles and cousins and all of them.
And like especially your mother, she's been watching this happen unfold, right? Like
Right,
watching your
absolutely.
life kind of like blow up, explode into like transformation at the speed of light.
Yes, absolutely. She's my biggest supporter, and she is the one person that I strive to make proud.
Wow. So
And
what?
she actually works at the salon with me.
She's a hairdresser.
She's not a hairstylist, but she does. She's our front desk coordinator.
Oh my lord! So your mother, like she's watching you, like you guys live together at work, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
so
cool.
she,
It's fun. It's
oh
fun.
yeah, I can only imagine how that is. So what's, where do you go from here? What's next?
Um, I'm a very goal-driven person. I say this in the best way, but I really, really, really like nice things, and so I love my home that I bought now. Um, but I want a bigger one. And I love my car that I have now, but I want a nicer one.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
I'm
so so,
excited.
so now you're at 22. Now that you're really, the oil pump is pumping. It's more, better, faster. It's almost like I want to see how far this ride can take me for a while, huh?
Right.
I love it.
My goal is to retire at 50.
Well, you're on a very fast on ramp. So, before we end this part of the conversation, there's a lot of people watching tonight, and there's you're kind of blowing up my board here, comment boxes, and people are watching this, looking at you, listening to you, frankly, identifying with you, your story, with one big exception. They're at where you were, you're at where they're dreaming about, but they're not sure. If I go for this, like Nickolas went for this, what will I have the chance of having the kind of life that he has? What might you say to them that would raise the probability that, like you, they take the shot?
If I had to say one thing, one of my biggest issues at the beginning is I kept focusing on everyone else. And once you're able to go into work or go into do whatever you're doing, whether it's doing this or whether it's doing something else, you have to focus on what you're doing. Because if you're focusing on like, oh, look what they're doing, or they did this, or they got this, or if you focus on that, you're never going to get anywhere. And so that when I realized, I was like, okay, I need to step back. I need to look at myself, and I need to see what I need to do to get there.
Yeah.
And that's when you get it.
Yeah, it's almost like you stop comparing yourself to others, and you
Comparing,
just,
yes.
there's a saying called, when we compare, we despair.
Right.
Right. So you just said, I'm just going to focus on my dream, my vision, my goal, and the rest is history. So that's
Yes.
wonderful. Now I got a handful of minutes left with you, Nickolas, and I'd love to get you talking about what in the world are you doing, whether it's behind the chair with your clients. I mean, I know you love doing hair. I know you're loving the people you're serving and that, but what's going on with you behind the chair? Or I was on your Instagram page, and it's amazing that really is kind
Thank
of
you.
like speeding things up for you.
Mm-hmm. So the social media is really big. And I actually every now and then, me and Brandy, my salon owner, who sometimes will kind of go on our Instagram and we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom. We'll scroll all the way down to the bottom and we'll look at what our Instagram used to look like. And we'll say, oh, I need to take that off there. That doesn't look good. And we'll say, you know what? We actually need to leave that on there so that way people can see where we've come.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have a lot of off the chart. Just your grids. I mean, I'm scrolling, going, going. Like, how often are you putting new content on your grids?
So the biggest thing, that's the other thing, is I feel like I owe a lot of my level jumps to social media, because not only did I was doing what I needed to do behind the chair, hitting my goals, but I was posting once or twice a day. I was posting stories. I was posting content all the time. I took a picture of every client. I posted every single day, putting myself out there and letting people know, hey, I do hair, come sit in my chair.
Wow.
And so that was the biggest, I think, in social media. It makes such a difference.
So, and it looks like you're still doing that now. So you're saying every opportunity you get, you'll document the content that you're creating.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And I think too, and I've learned this, I do a lot of continued education with my salon and on my own. I think I've learned over the years of being on social media is people don't just want to see the hair that you do, they want to see you.
Yeah.
And so I've started within the past year sharing my life and sharing myself, sharing my accomplishments, and people love it. And I think that definitely helps you grow as well.
Yeah, your grids have a pattern. You're in the middle, and then on your left and right you'll have hair. Oh no, and then you kind of mix it up. So like you, but you probably you're showing a lot of your life to your community.
Absolutely.
You have your dog on there. Was that a boxer?
Boston Terrier. That's my baby.
I love it. So, I mean, I'm looking at your grids and I'm going, this looks, in addition to an Instagram page, it also looks like it's a digital lookbook. I'm curious as to how many times you're either grabbing for content in real time on your mobile, or your clients have their mobile out and they're on your page and you're having conversations about your work as something inspirational for them. Like, is that a part of how you roll as well?
Absolutely. Social media is my life. So if you want to know about me and you want to know about my life, go to my social media.
Right.
And that's super important to me, because personally, that's just the world that we live in now. And I like to share my life in a tasteful way,
right,
in a respectful way, in a positive way.
Yes.
There is not one negative thing on my social media.
Right.
I don't do that. But I love to share everything. So it's definitely every day my life is on camera, basically.
Yeah, and I see some pictures. Did you take some shots of your house?
I did, yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing that on your grids. So I got your handle that I put on it. Again, it's Hair by Nickolas. That you're gonna probably see a spike in followers, because it's a real cool page. And your highlights, you got extensions, blondes, biolage, and all of those highlights are wonderful. It like takes you on a little magical mystery tour of the work. How much extension work are you doing?
Like I said, I specialize in color and balayage. I'm a balayage freak. I love color, but I am extension certified. And I just recently, I would say within the last 6 months, my extension clientele has definitely like skyrocketed. But it's because I've started advertising it and I've started posting about it. And once I started posting about it, that's when I was able to kind of get those extension clients in the door.
So when you said advertising, you mean, is that another word for posting, or are you actually doing any posting or anything like that, or no?
Yes, posting. So I have actually done extensions for about a year. But I wasn't really posting it. I wasn't really doing a lot with it. And then once I kind of got more into it and I started posting about my extension work, that's when I was able to get the clients in.
Yeah, and as I'm listening to you, there's the work you're doing online. It's almost like I create content in real time. I document the content in real time. I'm uploading, I'm posting, and putting captions together. That gets handled. Is it in between clients? Do you do some of that off of at night, or like when do you actually get the posting handled?
So all day, every day.
Right.
When I'm in the salon and I'm working, I post stories during the day. And then I post like my work that I've done that day. I might post it that night, or even like on the weekends is when I try, like when I'm not in the salon, I try and post a lot of personal content. I like to travel and take pictures and explore, and so I try. It's really all the time.
Yeah.
It actually never ever ends.
What I'm getting from the conversation, Nickolas, is that you're documenting your livelihood, your art, your life with your clients. You're documenting your life in there, and there's something about either a current guest or a potential guest coming to your page and having that experience that's compelling them to be, in your chair and be on the receiving end of your art. So it's relatively, that's a new way of not only growing a business, but it's a way that's growing a business where it's almost like it collapses time. It's allowing you to get to places in income and windows of time that are unprecedented. Just very, very
Right.
short. It's almost like you're being slingshotted, through the growth curve.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, man, we're out of time, but I want you to promise me you'll come back for an encore, because
Absolutely.
I have this feeling I want you back when you crack the infamous 100,000, so that people can see. And I just have a feeling that's going to happen in 2021.
That's my goal, and I would love to come back. Thank you so much for having me. I've been so excited about this all week. I haven't stopped talking about it to everybody, and I'm really excited to come back and share how much further I've came.
I really enjoyed my experience with you. You're an interesting soul, and just Godspeed. Stay on the track, and have a good holiday. Kill it in 2021, and I will blink and we'll have you back on the show, and we'll talk about an encore on part 2.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to give it up for you one more time, Mr. Nickolas. Stay well, my friend.
You too.
Okay. I love that, you guys. I love that a lot. What I got, I don't know what your take is on the whole thing, but mine was that social media is not only part of his livelihood now, it's a part of his life. And if you go to his pages, especially his Instagram page, you're going to see his life documented in stories, highlights, grid, and inside of that life is his livelihood, his art, and then him. And clients, or at least the type of clients that he's attracting, which are triple-digit clients, that experience compels them to want to be a part of his community, his salon community. So this is a new way. We couldn't have had this conversation in this way even a year ago. And I think that now it's rapidly becoming, when people are saying, what do you think the new normal is going to be? And it's like, don't look now, but you got a taste of it tonight. So I hope that you follow him in what he's up to. He's just remarkable soul. So if you're new to us, you're on Michael Cole Summit. This really now has become our learning channel for people like you that are saying, I want to really begin integrating social media, social digital, into my business behind the chair. Because if you're not involved in that to some degree, you're going to run the risk of, let's just say it, becoming less relevant over time. It's not an either or. You don't have to be a Jedi. You don't have to, but I think somewhere between not doing anything and moving into putting some of your life on social, especially Instagram. And if you're saying, I want to learn how to do more and more, this would be a channel to hang out on. Summit now, summitsalon.com, has a lot of online social media training that I would call, social media boot camp, if you will. I was just talking to my friend Katie Weston. She's got something called Level Up, which is really for associates in level 1. So I would suggest that stay close to this community, and you'll go through the learning curve quicker. Now, on Instagram, it's the same handle with one teeny exception, and that is the interview tonight will be cooked down into like a 5-minute, we call them micro learning, and we'll place it on my IGTV channel so that you can kind of watch the essence of it. Or if you don't want to watch it, you can experience it as a podcast as well. There's another .com I want to just give you a heads up about. Summit Salon 365 is really becoming a placeholder now for myself and my colleagues at Summit to do what I'm calling production value content. Where tonight, the video, you'll be able to watch it over and over, but it's organic. This has got an enormous amount of production value. It's almost like a Netflix. It's the Summit Netflix. So, and I'm continuously putting content on that as well. So hang out for that as well. All of the people that kind of do the work that we do use stuff like the social digital planner, the social digital script guide. These are all blueprints that you can get on Summit's website, summitsalon.com, and that'll show you how to do this as well. We are doing more online training than in our 20-year history. So I would recommend that you call the 800 line and set up a 30-minute free, we call it our virtual consultations, to show you what you can do on Summit online to continue to, move faster and faster towards the, we'll call it the Nickolas Sullivans of the world. And then we have our trackers, we have our goal, and all of this, by the way, is compliments because Summit, as well as myself, is powered by L'Oreal Professional Products. I always like to do a shameless plug on the MC Tati brand because this is for our nonprofit. We do a lot of work in inner city schools with literacy education, preschool, kindergarten, first, second grade. So anytime you see me wearing something on a t-shirt that you think is cool, if you get on that .com, and you'll see some really cool art. But 100% of the proceeds there go to fund that. And I also do a lot of work in the alcohol drug recovery community as well, called 12 The Retreat. So enough for shameless plugs. Thanks again to our sponsors. We're all powered by L'Oreal Professional Product Division. These are our brands. So please, when you support these brands, you're supporting our sponsor. And that we can continue to bring content to you in this way. So thank you. I always take advantage of an opportunity to express gratitude to L'Oreal. You are watching Summit Salon Business Center. We are partners, if you will, exclusive salon business partners of L'Oreal. So it's all good. It's been a great night. I'm going to let you get on with your holiday season because you got a lot going this week. You could see that Nickolas had his, he's got a 12-hour day ahead of him tomorrow, as I'm sure you will. So have a good evening, and we'll see you next Monday night. I believe my guest is Jeannie Wagner. She should be on tonight, and you're going to love her interview. So stay well.